Happy holidays, everybody, and welcome once again to Pappelallee Studios. We bring you this unique, special live coverage of Ring of Honor Boxing Day Brawl. The Ring of Honor Pure Championship will also be on the line as we grit our teeth in the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City once again. And thank you all for tuning in to Live on Demand. Please subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. If you want to dictate the conversation, super chat symbols that are PayPal patches as we start off with the grizzled young veterans to kick off tonight's festivities. So without further ado, let's get right into the action. Hello once again, everybody, and happy holidays to all of you. Hope you all had a wonderful Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Ramadan, whatever you celebrate, whether it's still going on or whether it has concluded. Seminole Foster here, of course, the Simple Man, now the Simple Brand, the voice of SRS, forever grateful for all things professional wrestling. Damn it. Happy to be with you on this call once again, as I believe that honor has been real since 2002. As we got Zack Gibson, Liverpool's #1, with a microphone, and basically talking down about New York City as only he can. Go figure. So much risk history. I mean, you know, New York City is a city of history. No doubt about that. That gives him the loudest man in the room, always. Damn, post-apocalyptic third world country. And the people are absolute vermin. If you hate Zack Gibson, shoes up. The definition of the successful New York City in 2025 is Eddie Kingston. Well, okay, those are fighting words against a former Raw World Champion. I'm just saying. This has got everything to do with Eddie Kingston. And the disrespect! The disrespect! And Matt Helms, good to see you as always. Well, say his name, and here comes the king of the bomb, straight from the Yonkers himself. Here comes Eddie Kingston. Oh, wait a minute. Eddie Kingston from behind. Oh! Eddie Kingston with a steel chair in play. Taking out both the grizzled young veterans, and I believe our first match is actually Eddie Kingston versus James Drake. And Kingston, of course, has been fighting his whole life as every Stephon Smith seizes the chair from Eddie Kingston. Oh, man! James Drake falling up with a drop kick. And jumping in Segura, excuse me, and immediately, of course, this stems from what happened back in Manchester, England as well, where Eddie Kingston, he asked for a fight, and of course, he won his match against James Drake. And right now, James Drake on the better end of a beatdown on the King of the Buns for Ring of Honor World Champion, former inaugural AEW Continental Classic North American Triple Crown Champion. And of course, they love Eddie Kingston. Of course, Eddie Kingston, no stranger to a brawl, as we are, of course, Boxing Day. Boxing Day, for those that don't know, of course, relates to the day after Christmas. As the bell rings, we're officially underway with this opening contest. I mean, if he wants a fight, he certainly got one now, right? Of course, his recent battles with Nathan Cruz as well, a longtime friend of the grizzled young veterans, former DPW, NXT UK Progress Tag Team Champions, and NJPW Strong Openweight Tag Team Champions, taking him down with a stiff lariat. Eddie Kingston might think he's back in friggin' Bronx. And of course, Kingston coming back from 18 months of injury after what happened to his knees last year, of course, had a resurgence at the hands of Gabe Kidd. Talking about again that this is all he has to live for. This is all he has left. He doesn't know if he'll be here tomorrow, but he knows that he's here tonight in the middle of the squared circle. And I'm about to say, you don't want to instigate Eddie Kingston, bring out that fighting spirit, even though he's disciplined in the King's Road. The heavy hands of Eddie Kingston right now, clearly the heavier striker here, straight out of Yonkers, New York. Irish whip reverse to the James Drake, throwing hard in the corner. And of course, folks, this all comes before I give you Snippet tonight, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live from my Submen's brand with my friends for AEW World's Ends. We'll be covering that, of course, here tomorrow at Pappelallee Studios, headlined by, of course, our Fatal 4-Way for the AEW Men's World Championship. Samoa Joe defending against Swerve, Strickland, Heyman Page, and Maxwell Jacob Freeman, MJF. And again, Eddie Kingston right now coming off that great effort, but lost to, of course, Samoa Joe, earning the respect of Bryan Danielson, who believes that one day he can do it, and he definitely could be one day the champion. Straps come down, knife edge chops to James Drake. And looking for the net breaker. Countered, though, by James Drake with a rake of the eyes. Oh, man. I was saying, James Drake and Kingston, both these men fight pretty damn dirty. Page right out Kingston's playbook. If you're looking at Eddie Kingston's past, of course, talking about Chikara, AEW, NWA, wherever this man has gone and fight his illustrious career. With this Zaguri missed. Got that rear naked choke applied, the sleeper hold. And Kingston drops James Drake down. And the stretch bomb applied in the middle of the ring. And Zack Gibson, though, going on the apron, distracting Eddie Kingston and allowing James Drake to breathe still for the time being. Eddie Kingston falls in, runs into the boots. Again, it's been a very unique year for both the grizzled young veterans and Eddie Kingston. Missile drought kick drops Eddie Kingston up and over out of the corner, flopping like a flounder. And of course, James Drake absorbing the blood of that impact on his back, unable to capitalize. James Drake, of course, from Blackpool, Lancaster, England, 15 years of experience. Primarily the tag team partner of one Zack Gibson, as Zack Gibson and James Drake have defined each other across tag team championships across the UK scene since 2018. Damage done right now to Kingston, staggered on his feet, of course, coming off great singles win against the likes of Katsuyori, Shibata, and Nathan Cruz. Nathan Cruz, of course, nowhere to be found here tonight, as, of course, he's a native of the UK. Oh, man! And Kingston just decked James Drake with that lariat. Again, Eddie Kingston will always leave it all out there in the ring, even if he doesn't necessarily know that he's in control. And go over those knife-edge chops now, the machine gun chops, excuse me. Seijo Kommander, Satoshi Kojima lining up the chest to James Drake at the Hammerstein Ballroom and the net breaker. Oof. Kingston definitely needed that sort of reserve for a comeback or a bounce back. Again, folks, use the hashtag ROH or watch ROH. Bring some, of course, love to Ring of Honor tonight on the X. To the kind of night, Mina Shirakawa in action. School by James Drake. Gets a 2 count. Boom and Doom versus the Frat House. We have Lee Moriarty defend the Ring of Honor Pure Chairman against Kommander. The premier athletes will be in 6-person mixed tag team action, and Katsuyori Shibata will feel the rush as it goes one-on-one with Leo Rush. And we have the Swirl, Blake Christian, and Lee Johnson taking on Alec Price and Jordan Oliver, previously known as Young, Dumb, and Broke. One of the strongest rising tag teams in the independent scene in and out of GCW. Here's the cover by James Drake. The missile drop kick gets a 2.5. Oof. And right now, Eddie Kingston showing great grit, getting the shoulder up, not kicking out of the cover. And now James Drake mounting Kingston and insulting him, saying he's nothing, of course. Again, you see Kingston instigating his opponent, and James Drake has a very short fuse. But I was like, how many people have not, like, ground and pounded Kingston and flipped him off? I'm just saying. And paid for the price for it. James Drake once again, jaw jacking, but going up towards the second rope. Eddie Kingston stagger back up to his feet, catching James Drake out of the corner to Exploder. Taking it for a ride. Drake is dazed, and Kingston fired up, and DDT! Just a half cover, 2, that's it. The win for Eddie Kingston, but Zack Gibson's going to make him pay for it. And of course, Zack Gibson and James Drake going to embarrass Eddie Kingston, as of course the good young veterans feel like they were embarrassed in Manchester, England, but Eddie Kingston beat Nathan Cruz. Kingston beating Zack Gibson to the punch, though. Looking for the DDT, but and James Drake with a low blow. And there's that scarf. Customary, of course, for Zack Gibson and James Drake. Literally trying to choke the life out of Eddie Kingston right now. And Baz Eddie literally losing consciousness here, and James Drake climbing up to the top rope. Oh, no. James Drake saying, grit your team. Gibson from the top row. Counts that coast to an unconscious Eddie Kingston. Real tough talk by young veterans when you literally are talking to somebody that's unconscious. As they're, of course, basically barking and warning Eddie Kingston to think twice before you get in our business. Jeez. That's literally decimating Eddie Kingston after the fact that James Drake lost with a DDT. Well, that's a sour note after the holidays for the King of the Bums. I hope that his Christmas went better. And again, I hope that you all have the most wonderful of holidays as you continue to tune in with us for all the wrestling across all fronts. Again, we are covering right now Ring of Honor Boxing Day Brawl. Of course, Mina Shirakawa still to come in action. Katsuyori versus Leo Rush. We will have the other half of the Grizzly Young Veterans in singles action. Zack Gibson taking on Bryce Donovan for the first time ever. The Swirl and Tag Team action against Jack Price and Jordan Oliver, and so much more. And I hope that y'all enjoy the coverage. And voice of Ring of Honor, Bobby Cruz. Oh, look, it's Santa. He slimmed down. Uh-oh. Well, here comes the Grinch, and if you know who I'm talking about, he wears a suit, and his name is Smart Mark Sterling. Oh, boy. I'm about to say, the day that freaking Mark Sterling's on the nice list, he'll freaking pay his way to that and still will be stuck on the naughty list. £170? Really? Jeez. Of course, he has to insult all of New York, as always. What else is new? Well, I think it's safe to say we also know that the athletes suck. Suck. Yeah, Santa, good job. Santa knows. Oh, Mark Sterling. Whoa! Oh, no, Denali, don't do that to Santa. Oh, choke slam. The power by this former collegiate volleyball player, the newest member of the Premier Athletes, just sent Santa back to the North Pole. Well, she's definitely getting nothing but cold next year. Still Denali, who has been invaluable to the Premier Athletes. Bell rings are underway for this mixed six-person action. And Tony Nese, of course, Premier Athlete. And apparently he shows New York that premier physique. I'm not sure New York came to see that. I think they came to see professional wrestling, but that's a different story. Go to a bodybuilding contest. Shout out Aubrey Everett, by the way, referee for this match. Again, Stoy Denali, though, for those that don't know, you can learn more about her story as she is still very much in the genesis of her wrestling career, courtesy of AEW Unrestricted with Aubrey Everett and Will Washington. Again, look at the flexing here. There you go. And New York City, of course, knows how to fine-tune an athlete. Sunset flip, roll through. Off! Taking the head off. Stickily moving on with that kick. Premier Athletes are currently facing Ashley Vox, John Cruz, and VSK. Tag mate of Ari Davari. And of course, Toy Nizari Davari, long-time tag team partners. Stoy Denali, by the way, folks, is 6'3". She is a former volleyball player, and she literally just started wrestling, training out of Ice Pick Academy with Vic Capri. Now, John Cruz right now. John Cruz usually on the 9 list here, and John Cruz fighting on the good side here. Oh, caught with a net breaker. Stoy Denali, by the way, has only had 14 matches in her professional wrestling career. Her first match, of course, back against Aesop Michelle in BCW, as she joined, of course, Premier Athletes on Honor Club back in September. Has been part of ROH ever since. Impressive, of course, during, the Philadelphia, of course, stay for AEW. And John Cruz sent to the corner, and obviously, oh boy, Stoy Denali wants Ashley Vox, one half of the Seam Stars. I would tread cautiously against this 6'3" unknown anomaly. Again, Ashley Vox trying to get the fight off the ropes, though. Swing and a miss. Still a nice high play to her advantage. Hooking up Ashley, looking for the DDT, but the strength, the power of Denali. Look at the strength. Hoisting her with a vertical drop release. Almost a release Falcon arrow. Uh-oh. And Ashley Vox might be sent for the ride. And John Cruz saving Ashley, but I don't think John Cruz realized what he just did. I mean, commendable that you make yourself a sacrifice, figuring that you're the biggest person in this fight when you're not. Okay, John Cruz, do not size up against Story Denali. I'm just saying. Oh, boy. Off the ropes. Well, I guess we'll never know. All right, Devar with the ankle pick. Just pull John Cruz. I think, honestly, he may just save John Cruz from a early, farewell or to the hospital. Whoa! Great combination, wiping out VSK and John Cruz. Hammerlock DDT to VSK. Super kick by Ashley Vox. Sorry, Davari. Very nice. Oh, man. A forward boot by Denali, though, takes Ashley out. Now Ashley's seeing stars. Oh, no. Planted choke slam from 6'6". Cover 2. That's it. Damn. Another impressive and commanding showing by Mark Stirring's newest client in Story Denali, the newest member of the Premier Athletes. As we go backstage with Lexi Nair, who stands alongside one half of our main event tonight for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship, and Kommander, who, of course, is a former Ring of Honor television champion. And Cleaver, good to see you. I hope that you, your missus, everyone had a wonderful holiday too. Thank you so much for your support and tuning in as we're covering Ring of Honor here. I would love to have you on these calls just to get your thoughts on when you used to be a Ring of Honor fan or just engage you once again. And stay tuned, folks, when he does Prime Cuts as the moderator of the No DQ review. Next week, courtesy of NoDQ.com, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The final No DQ review of 2025. Subscribe to the Cleaver, Con Andrew today, the Cleaver of No DQ. And Matt's also good to see you as well. I gotta say, for somebody with literally less than 15 matches, I think that Story Denali can definitely find her place here. I mean, she's got the stature, she's got the poise so far, and protecting her inside a faction definitely helps with her, let's call it what it is, novice stature. Still, though, impressive. Hell of a chokeslam. Ashley Vox seeing stars out of that. Good Lord. Well, Kommander looks to take on the best Ring of Honor Pure Champion currently in RH history. And speaking of champions, this Saturday, Babes of Wrath will defend the Women's World Tag Team Championships against Mercedes Moné and the Forever Revived Champion, Athena. Of course, this will be a rematch from the opening rounds of the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship Tournament. As, of course, Athena was pinned by Harley Cameron, but made Will Nightingale suffer the old face at Holiday Bash to earn this championship match. And of course, Mercedes Moné coming off a 2-0 losing streak of titles, losing the Ring of Honor Women's Television Championship and the Rev Pro Disputed Women's Heavyweight Championship. Again, what are they? Babes, and what they have? Wrath. And they also have the gold that Mercedes Moné and Athena want to grasp. And speaking of women, huge AEW Women's World Tag Team bout this Saturday, but of course tonight, Mina is now. Time for Mina Shirakawa in singles action. You want Mina? I mean, who doesn't want Mina, honestly? Woman exudes positivity, confidence, and beauty. One half of the timeless love bombs, of course. Looking to get right back where she was. Previous challenger, of course. Previous Ring of Honor interim women's television champion. Taking on Rebecca Scott. Rebecca Scott, of course, well known on the independent scene, also out of the Northeast area. A very unique situation for Rebecca Scott here, taking on a former Wonder Stardom champion. Rebecca Scott, 5 years of experience, has a little bit less experience than Mina Shirakawa overall. You can find Rebecca Scott, more often, though, on WrestlePro and CCW. Called up on her adhered to. Bell rings, and we are underway. And right now, Mercedes been able to side headlock to Rebecca Scott. I love watching Ring of Honor to either bring more forward to the independent scene or learn more about the independent scene. Mina showing off, Rebecca Scott not looking for any more of that showboating from the former actress. By the way, folks, Actress is an all-women's wrestling promotion. And speaking of Ring of Honor and women's wrestling, next week we will have from MLW, Janai Kai taking on Red Velvet in a Ring of Honor Women's World TV Championship Proving Ground match, where if you outlast the champion for 10 minutes or pin or beat them via decision, you will get a future title shot. And Mina driving Rebecca Scott on her knees, obviously looking for that glamorous figure four leg lock. Mina has the answer, but Rebecca Scott captures the head, inside cradle, gets a 2 count. Oh! Got with a sling blade, though. Good counted by Mina, and Mina fired up, of course. And, of course, Mina Shirakawa looking to take to new heights next year in 2026. As, of course, she went forward to this dream in America this year. Nice sling blade out of the corner. And that might be it. Lateral press, cover 2. No! Rebecca Scott gets the shoulder up. And good to see Ripshot as well. And I'll answer your question following this match again, folks. Follow Ripshot again. Like, subscribe, and comments. Well, my friends today on YouTube and on the X. If you want to further engage with me or get my fossils on wrestling, find me if you choose and Foster 916 on the X. I only wish to encourage just 11 endurance to as simple as that. Oh! Big right hand, rolling elbow connects to the back of the head, and a buzzsaw kick follow-up. Blind shot Rebecca Scott didn't see, but certainly felt. And there's the spinning back fist. Good night. Sayonara. And stepping through Mina Shirakawa. Glamorous figure for a leg lock applied. Middle of the ring. Critical situation for Rebecca Scott. Nowhere to go. Oh, Mina bridges, and that is it. And once she had that further pressure of bridging up, shades of a figure 8 by one queen known as Charlotte Flair, Mina Shirakawa with an impressive win in that against Rebecca Scott. Good stuff, Mina Shirakawa, and good to see Rebecca. And speaking of champions, we go backstage with our world champion, Bandito, with the franchise of Ring of Honor, Jay Lethal. What do you want to say here? Jay Lethal saying Bandito don't have a lot of common. They both can't stand Blake and Lee, also known as the Swirl. Of course, Blake Christian has a singles win over Jay Lethal. More request. So Jay Lethal, with the same enemy in mind, looks like Jay Lethal wants to ask Bandito to team up against the Swirl next week on Ring of Honor. And I mean, Jay Lethal is, of course, face the franchise, former Ring of Honor World and Pure Champion. So it looks like we got a tag team match made, players. Next week on Ring of Honor, Bandito and Jay Lethal versus the Swirl, Blake Christian and Lee Johnson. I'm not sure what you call that. Brad Lethal? Anyway, as we move forward to tag team action, speaking of the Swirl, let's mix it up with one of the best tag teams going this year with Alec Price and Jordan Oliver, formerly known as Young, Dumb, and Broke. Jordan Oliver, of course, and Alex Price. We've also seen them previously here also in AEW. Great athletes, of course, pressing on the scenes. Of course, you've seen them in our watch alongs, particularly for GCW. Young and exuding all the confidence in the world. Jordan Oliver, of course, straight out of the New York area with 9 years of experience, an all-rounder, trained out of the ZCW Academy. And, of course, they are current GCW Tag Team Champions, known as Bustah and the Brain, by the way, in case y'all want to know their new name. They've been GCW Tag Team Champions now for 76 days. And, of course, the Swirl are on a Ring of Honor record of 8-2. While they have not been strong as singles competitors this year, since they come together as a duo, they've had each other's backs and have garnered every opportunity they can. Blake Christian, of course, was part of Survivor of the Fittest at Final Battle, challenging for the Ring of Honor World Championship in a losing effort. And easy night. What the hell are you talking about? Easy night. Give me a break. And, of course, Blake Christian and Lee Johnson exuding all the confidence they can, taking their opponents likely. Go figure. I was say, these two better know how good these athletes are, especially Blake Christian, considering he's a former GCW champion in his own right. The hell are you talking about? Okay, all they're just going to talk and talk. See, they walk the walk. Alex Bryce, by the way, 27 years of age from the Boston, Massachusetts area, 8 years of experience. And we'll see if the code of honor is adhered to. Of course, Bustah and the Brain, Jordan Oliver, and of course, Alec Price. They are also the Excite Tag Team Champions. Been Tag Team Champions for that independent promotion now for 132 days. And there's the Dishonor by Blake Christian. The bell reigns were underway for this match. And of course, Blake Christian did come off a singles win last week in an open challenge against Angelico, thanks to the assist by Lee Johnson and a shorter block, not Alex Price. The drop down, Blake Christian. Great agility here. The Cazador roll through. Roll up cover. Alex Price reversal cover. Great roll up there. Great drop down. Great speed here. Drop kick. Wipe Alex Price out by Blake Christian. Last time Blake Christian and Alex Price went one-on-one was for the GCW World title in 2023. And knocking Jordan Oliver off the apron. Tag made to Lee Johnson. Lee Johnson, who has yet to win gold of any sort here in Ring of Honor or AEW. The Irish double Irish whip. Alex Price still gets the boot up. Lee Johnson is legal. Low bridge to Blake Christian. Get to the midsection, though, by Lee Johnson. Jordan Oliver yet to get involved in this match. And look at that. Great tag off the spring off the second rope. Shot to the midsection. Wow, nice. Licensor drop kick sequence by Bustah and the Brain, working on all cylinders. I like Jordan Oliver's moxie here. And right now, Jordan Oliver legal with Lee Johnson. Lee Johnson, of course, trained by QT Marshall and a student out of the Nightmare Factory. Of course, by One American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. The Irish whip. I wonder which one is the Brain and which one is the Bustah. I feel like the Bustah's got to be Jordan Oliver. Oh! Kommander running lariat off the apron, and the Brain's got to be Alex Price. Spring it off! The top row with the flying lariat, turning Jordan Oliver inside out. Spear to Alex Price on the opposite side of the apron. And the Swirl right now working on all paces. Oh, look at this. The head scissors trap right now. And Lee Johnson running drop kick. Great combination by Blake Christian Lee Johnson. Perfect timing, perfect sequence, perfect synergy here. Lee Johnson right now looking to fly over the top of the topic on Hilo. Wiping out Alex Price, making it look easy. I tell you one thing, when Lee Johnson takes this shot, he definitely takes a big shot, and sometimes he actually doesn't miss. And of course, we're looking to see if the Swirl can put themselves possibly in the tag title contention for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships, now held by, of course, the Beast Mortos and Sammy Guevara of Los Fashions Ingobernables. But Bustah and the Brain could really reset the landscape here with a win tonight in Ring of Honor. As Oliver right now sent back inside the ring with Blake Christian. Blake Christian and Jordan Oliver, the two legal men. And about to say, Blake Christian getting the better of Jordan Oliver here in the early proceedings. About to say, you see a wrestler grab the back of their head, though, you're going to want to try and further exploit that or put him in a sleeper hold. And Blake right now may try and incapacitate Jordan Oliver here. Again, Blake Christian and Jordan Oliver have shared many matches together in GCW over both the GCW and the JCW title. They've also were formerly tag team partners. And then right now you see Blake Christian focusing right now on the neck here. And thank you so much, Wills. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you as well. This was definitely one of the most anticipated matches of my night here, considering I know the history of Young, Dumb, and Broke, now known as Bustah and the Brain. And I've seen this newfound moxie with Lee Johnson and Blake Christian. Honestly, this was the number one reason that I decided to do this tonight, because I don't usually work Friday nights if it's not freaking AEW or New Japan or something of excitement. Jordan Oliver. Oh, man! Anticipation, jumping forward with the elbow, catching Blake Christian in the midsection. We've seen, of course, Jordan Oliver's growth over the year in and out of GCW and Ring of Honor. Let's not forget the first time we saw Jordan Oliver tag made lunging for Alex Price was earlier this year in Philadelphia. And Price now, Lee Johnson coming in, coming the Inseguri. Alex Price right now looking to mix up with a Swirl with the double stomp to Lee Johnson, separating this chocolate and vanilla connection. Beautiful moves off the second rope. And a drop kick wiping out Christian. Now the Price showing out here. Why not? It's the Hammerstein Ballroom. What the hell? Beautiful escalator double springboard flying clothesline out of the corner. Bryce is alive and well, looking to get ready to fly here, picking up speed, and Lee Johnson inside out with that lariat. A big boot by Jordan Oliver wipes Lee out. And Blake Christian right now, the side step, handstand. Corkscrew kick to Jordan Oliver. Alex Price still picking up speed. Rebound lariat off the top rope. Here's a Tyler Bates. It's a hell of a tag team match as I expected. You might be literally seeing two teams to watch out for in Ring of Honor. And honestly, I almost wonder if Blake Christian, Lee Johnson win, will they go after the GCW Tag Team Championships? Looking for a high five. Oh, man, almost got tripped on the top rope, but still wipes out the Swirl on the outside. Attack made to Jordan Oliver. Jordan Oliver legal now. Blake Christian legal for the Swirl. Jordan Oliver squaring up Blake. Oh! Got double knees. Buster and the brain. Look at this. Crucifix Avalanche Bulldog! And the Lions hook Jordan Oliver to Lee with the save. Damn it, I thought they had them. Woo! Great combination of that big move. Alex Price sent up and over. It lands on the apron. Caught with a super kick by Lee Johnson. And Blake Christian right now falling. Oh, man, the Frostberry flopping between the top and middle rope. The screwdriver or the swirl driver. Oliver there landed on his head. Blake Christian, 450 splash off the half and half. Now Blake Christian and Lee Johnson might be looking to finish this. Alex Price wiped out. Jordan Oliver hoisted up. Handstand. Brainbuster, back heel kick combo, and that is it. The Swirl wins. You don't gotta appreciate the dishonorable attitude, but you damn sure need to appreciate the athleticism and synergy that these two bring together as a tag team. And again, Blake Christian's been calling out the Ring of Honor World Champion, and he'll get it next week. Next week is Bandito and Jay Lethal versus the Swirl, Blake Christian, Lee Johnson, on the first episode of Ring of Honor 2026, as Blake Christian looks to become the Ring of Honor World Champion. Still a commendable performance tonight by Alex Price and Jordan Oliver. Bustah and the Brain, though, got busted. Of course, right now, Wheels would have fought here. At this point, I don't have an answer. Magic 8 Ball says, ask me later. And Rib Shot, to your point, do you think when they're having all these titles for so long was worth it or a failed experiment? I think regardless, name value means something in this business. Even your name showing up in the smallest promotion of a different region brings exposure, not only to wrestling, but to the company that wrestler represents. And considering we've seen the rise of Red Velvet pushed to our absolute limit, and we saw the course regained by Alex Windsor, a recognized face of the UK scene. For Red Pro, I would say so far it's been a very successful way to push forward professional wrestling in a way. And I think it's only going to continue. But in the meantime, we got to get ready for singles action here. Thank you again, Reels and Ripshot, for your questions. And now Zack Gibson once again has a mic as we get ready for Zack Gibson versus Bryce Donovan. Darn again what they are. The Cleveland Young Veterans. And again, the friggin' disrespect shown earlier to Eddie Kingston and New York City for that matter. In New York City, of course, a beacon of opportunity, the melting pot of America, where anyone can come here and try and make it anything a reality. You try to hijack the show, trying to make this about you. What are you doing right now? About to say, do you open the mirrors at Gibson? Referee Aubrey Edwards for this contest. The audience telling him to shut the F up. As Zack Gibson demands, you will respect the name GYV. And when you see the GYV coming, you will grit your teeth. A commanding statement by Zack Gibson, who's had a very bittersweet 2025. Bryce Donovan, by the way, folks, is a freelancer from the Long Beach, New York area. 9 years, been trained out of Create a Pro Academy by Kurt Hawkins, most professional wrestler, and Pat Buck. Bell rings, we are underway for this contest. Previous VPW champion, Wrestling Open champion. First time ever match, though, against Zack Gibson. And previously, Bryce Donovan was involved in WWE Evolve. Front face lock takedown there by the Grizzly Young Veterans. Also made now official for the 0 hour. Eddie Kingston will go one-on-one with Zack Gibson after that heinous, cowardly attack. We'll see if Eddie Kingston can teach this Grizzly Young Veteran some respect. American style. And again, Zack Gibson right now. So, do you hear what these people say? Stiff Connell tab, of course, folks. You can follow all of us when we cover the 0 hour. It will be across all AEW social medias and HBO Max. But HBO Max, of course, will be exclusively for the World's End pay-per-view tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Standard Time. Gloving shot right now. Zack Gibson teeing off against Bryce Donovan in the corner. Wow, God, taking down with a short-range lariat. Good grief. As Zack Gibson giving his opponent no time here, hoisting him up. And Bryce Donovan able to escape. Oh, there we go. Bryce trying to mount a comeback here with the right hand. Swinging a miss by Zack Gibson. And a boot turns Zack Gibson sideways. I feel like Zack Gibson's own worst enemy is his freaking mouth when he doesn't know when to shut up. Jumping elbow drop by Bryce with the cover hook on the far leg. It's a 1 count. And literally dropping that elbow right to the sternum. Not going to win out Zack Gibson. Zack Gibson trying to cover up here. James Drake, of course, still in his corner. Reverse here. And wrestles the elbow. Now Bryce with the second, though. But Zack Gibson, oh, man, ripped him down out of the corner. A hard landing on the back of the head and neck for Bryce Donovan. And, of course, Zack Gibson, self-proclaimed Liverpool's #1, 16 years of experience, trained by Alex Shane and Andy Baker. Inaugural winner of the NXT UK tournament. And just dumps Bryce to the outside. James Drake right now just instigating this man. And Aubrey Everett, of course, distracted by Zack Gibson. About to say. And now Drake resisting, actually getting physically involved here against Zack Gibson's opponent. I think that just goes back again to that confidence the grizzled young veterans have, of course, in themselves. Oof. And right now, Zack Gibson, face first, goes Bryce Donovan. Ring of our current champions, of course, Bandito, Ring of our world champion, Ring of our pure champion, Tiger Style, Lee Moriarty of Shintaro Promotions, Ring of our tag team champions. Off! Of course, Sammy Guevara and the Beast Mortos, those factions, Eagle Benables, and Ring of our 6-man tag team champions, the Infantry and Shane Taylor, Shintaro Promotions. Single leg pump kick by Zack Gibson, wiping out Bryce Donovan. He did not miss with that boot. Good grief. And you see right now, fish hook in the face, just a vicious cross face, cross the bridge in the nose. Again, nothing about Zack Gibson is pretty. It is 100% gritty. He's been grizzled since he came out of damn womb. Hard Irish whip to Bryce Donovan. And Bryce Donovan right now. Surprised that Zack Gibson is taking his time here with this young, bright upcomer. Obviously trying to send a message to Eddie Kingston and all of New York. Of course, if it's Gibson, who was able to change the trajectory of his career after being released from, corporate hell, when the good young veterans once again were reborn and remind people to grit their teeth. Again, working right now on the Donovan's jawline here in the sleeper hold, point of the elbow underneath the jaw. And, of course, all those big breaths right now coming out of Bryce Donovan might lead to incapacitation here. Of course, Zack Gibson squeezing the carotid artery, cutting off options to the brain. Bryce back to his feet, though, trying to break the grip. And great awareness by Zack with a knee to the spine. An Irish whip shout out to Eva Cabana, Caprice Coleman, of course, voices of Ring of Honor. And Bryce Donovan picking up speed. And Donovan running for Zack Gibson with the lariat. And again, Donovan back to his feet first. Zack Gibson, though, trying to find his bearings in the corner. Gets caught with a splash. Bryce forcing up Zack up with the fireman's carry, but Zack able to escape. The waist lock, the ribs, and the kidneys trap, thrown off the ropes. And, whoa! Bossman slam, cover 2! Oh, and Bryce nearly had it. Near fall for Bryce Donovan. Didn't expect that to happen tonight. You see right now, the audience getting in favor of their homeboy. And Bryce Donovan looking to follow up. Runs into the turnbuckles. Oh, Zack Gibson gets out of the way. And now Zack following up. Oh, damn. That big cold breaker out of the corner or lung blower, whatever the hell you want to call it. What? God, whacked him out with a lariat. Takes him down too, and that's it. Damn. As that Gibson took his opponent a little bit likely there and it almost cost him. And again, if he does that to Eddie Kingston, especially after what happened tonight, I can see Eddie Kingston making sure that Zack Gibson grits far more than just his teeth come Saturday night. 0 hour, folks. Eddie Kingston goes one-on-one with Zack Gibson. But look at the eyes of Liverpool's #1. He is dead, locked, and determined to make sure you understand what it means when you mess with the GYV. As we go backstage with Dalton Castle and the Outrunners. Freaking go! Of course, Dalton Castle, previous challenger to Ricochet's AEW Unified title. Oh, what the hell? What the fuck? Oh, it's the Grinch. It's MXN TV. The MXN collection just wiped out Dalton Castle and the Outrunners. Oh, good grief. You're a foul one, Mrs. Grinch. Good grief. Well, you know, the Grinch actually was successful in stealing Christmas from a couple of people. Oy vey. Anyway, as we get ready now for tag team action, I know that college, of course, is out of session, but looks like we're going to the frat house. Oh, Lord. Let it be known, by the way, when I went to college, did not join a fraternity, did not drink, never messed with Red Solo Cup, and damn sure never skipped class. And I feel like Griff Garrison and Cole Carter did all of the above. And apparently the whole entire frat house came out tonight at the Hammerstein Ballroom this Boxing Day. Oh, well. And apparently that guy was an unwelcome guest as he just got knocked the fuck out. And Preston Vance taking the shirt away from that failed enrollment, I guess, or recruit, whatever the fuck that meant. When was the last time the frat house actually got some sort of academic accolade, let alone a wrestling one? Again, frat house, Cole Carter, Griff Garrison, whoever the hell that is. James Dickinson, of course, and Preston Vance, better known as number 10. By the way, this, of course, marks the 5-year anniversary of the late, great Brody Lee's passing. God rest his soul, forever exalted. And here comes the team that brings the boom. And the Hammerstein Ballroom is absolutely hyped for Doom and Boom, QT Marshall, and Aaron Solo, and Big Justice, and Big Boom AJ. I totally forgot this was a match tonight. I gotta be literally honest. Wait a minute. QT Marshall's wife getting into the boom. Look at that. Mrs. Marshall freaking getting in the boom. I guess Boxing Day Brawl is all about bringing the boom, and I guess you don't need a freaking Choco Chunk cookie to do that. Enough what it's worth when it comes to Big Boom AJ. He has been very impressive each time we've seen him. Of course, we saw QT Marshall and Big Boom AJ. I don't know why I keep laughing at this. I find it funny. I guess it works. We saw, of course, Boom and Doom, their first time together as a tag team at AEW Full Gear during the 0 hour, taking on Roppongi Revice after Paul White knocked the fuck out Trent Beretta, and Trent Beretta and Rock Romero fell to Big Boom AJ and QT Marshall. For those that are wondering, the Rizzler is not in the room. I repeat, the Rizzler is not in the room. I feel like this entrance is going to go longer than this match. Well, either way, whether the crowd is drunk or sober, they're definitely hyped up to see the boom brought. And there was, of course, a point where QT Marshall couldn't stand Big Boom AJ, didn't respect him at all. And I thought that Big Boom AJ, of course, his days, we thought was behind him. QT Marshall once gave a documentary called The Wrestler, where it looked like he was going to be done with wrestling. QT Marshall, a 17-year veteran of the game. QT Marshall, by the way, is who we got to thank, by the way, for Harley Cameron experience, of course. When, of course, it was announced during the Irwani podcast, it was QT Marshall that thought that Harley Cameron was the right fit. The first time we saw Harley Cameron's personality and talent exposed in All Elite Wrestling. And, of course, QT Marshall also coming off that match with Paul Walter Hausen at Death Before Dishonor. And the bell rings. We are underway for the most unique tag team contest you're going to see at the end of 2025, in my opinion. That Big Justice right now. Been dropping the boom everywhere he's gone here. The audience chanting, bring the boom. What the world am I living in? That was a QT Marshall cleaned up, by the way, shaved his mustache off. Cole Carter, of course, formerly part of QT Marshall's Factory, if y'all remember that faction. Oh! And I've been shot by QT Marshall. By the way, it's Marshall, folks, not Marshall. Marshall. And, of course, the athleticism of QT Marshall, highly underrated. 21-year veteran of the game, at 40 years of age. And a kick right now in the midsection by Cole Carter. And to think that Boom and Doom could be part of a conversation for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships is not too far-fetched. But unless they beat the Outrunners and Dalton Castle in some sequence, I'm not going to believe they're better than those three. Because Dalton Castle and the Outrunners have been here longer in Ring of Honor than these two have together as a tag team. And, of course, right now, Big Boom AJ, 48 years of age, folks. 26 years this powerhouse, known as the American Power Child, has been involved in this game. But, of course, look at this. Boom and Doom are now working great together against Griff Garrison. And, oh, good power slam. And a cover, 2, count only, referee Stephon Smith. The last time Big Boom AJ actually wrestled, folks, prior to AEW was 2021, and he was on hiatus since 2005. Primarily was working during, of course, the early 2000s and 1999 when he first broke into the business. Had one match during the pandemic in standalone wrestling, and, of course, had his career reignited by AEW since last year. Griff Garrison running through him, though, with the uppercut. Big Boom AJ right now in his 51st match in his professional wrestling career. Because he got tired working retail. And right now, the Frat House cutting the ring off in half. And trying to bring Boom closer to their corner. That's one place you don't want to be with the Frat House having a paddle in hand, I'll tell you that much. And again, referee Stephon's been trying to break things up. And there's Cole Carter with a cheap shot. And again, Big Boom in the wrong part of town. Then again, New York, that's not very hard to do. Rare mistake right now by Boom and Doom have given the Frat House the current advantage. Now Cole Carter legal. Stomp right on the shoulder blades. I mean, I'm about to say, if I'm Cole Carter and Griff Garrison, you don't want QT Marshall in the ring. You want Big Boom AJ because not only is he the crowd favorite, he is far less experienced. Again, Cole Carter right now just teeing off against Big Boom AJ here. This is the most boisterous this crowd's been since the freaking tag team match, which, again, I'm not surprised. And right now, Cole Carter pushing Big Boom into their corner, teeing off against the midsection here with these big right hands. Quick tag made to Griff Garrison. Griff Garrison, previously part of the Varsity Blondes with one Brian Pillman Jr., now known as Lexus King in that place. It's big shots, of course. And right now, Griff Garrison mocking Big Boom, dropping his own boom literally countless times against the chest. Just baiting QT Marshall to get in here. Might need to go to his partner. Look at Jen Dixon getting involved. Time made. Again, when you got literally 8 idiots from the Frat House, somehow not with red solo cups in your corner, you got more than enough of an advantage. And Griff Garrison, Cole Carter looking for the double suplex and gets it. But again, keeping Big Boom far away from QT Marshall despite the fact he's close to cover. 2. Just a 2 count. And Jack Davison blatantly getting involved here. Sipping something totally different than that freaking monster sauce, whatever the hell they were drinking when he was with Bear Bronson and, of course, Boulder. And wait a minute, the reverse on. Oh! Pappelallee by Big Boom AJ. When the hell did he start watching Billy's playbook? I mean, that's a hell of a playbook to follow. And immediately, Big Boom AJ is crawling to his corner and bringing the doom. QT Marshall in. And Griff Garrison now with QT Marshall. This is ridiculous considering QT Marshall literally brought the doom against the boom against Big Boom AJ in the first one to encounter. And last time QT Marshall was involved in this building, he was taking on Jay Lethal, chanting his own inner NWO. Oh, wait a minute. No way. QT Marshall, no way. Look at him fly! Topic on Hilo, warming the Frat on the outside. There's your boom right there, quote-unquote QT Marshall. Griff Garrison sent back inside the legal man, and QT fired up. QT Marshall right now, but Preston Vance now trying to play distraction. And again, miss. Oh, man, and Griff Garrison booting QT Marshall outside. And now we got the Frowns getting involved while Aaron Solo's trying to fend them off. And Big Justice trying to fight off, of course. Meanwhile, again, they're not legal members, though. Focusing on the match here. Big Boom AJ driven off the apron by Cole Carter. This whole match is a fucking wreck. Again, all the numbers game coming into play here against QT Marshall and Big Boom AJ. Wait. And Stephon Smith giving a very close eye on Preston Vance, particularly. As we try and restore some law and order here. Of course, with a college fraternity, there is no order sometimes, especially when you've been drinking too much. As a Garrison now, a little bit of drip manipulation here. Putting pressure now on the elbow of QT Marshall, wrapping the right arm around his own arm. A modified wrist lock here. The elbow backwards, not supposed to bend that way. I don't think QT Marshall's double jointed. Clubbing shot to the spine. Tag made to Cole Carter. Still to come tonight, of course, our main event, of course, for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship. Lee Moriarty defending against Kommander. And we have Katsuyori Shibata taking on Leo Rush. And again, bad drop kick. Wiping out QT Marshall and Cole Carter in firm control as Big Boom AJ is still down on the floor. QT Marshall with no one to tag to. Giving top face first in the top turnbuckle. Great teamwork here so far by the Frat House here. Jumping in with that big clothesline, follow-up drop kick. Great double team sequence. And now Griff with the cover, hook of the leg on QT Marshall and a kick out at 2. And of course, kicking out with that already damaged arm by Griff Garrison, getting the right shoulder up. Trying to find some sort of saving grace or vertical base with the ropes. Again, Griff Garrison given no room to breathe, though. Irish whip. And QT sent to the opposite corner. Griff Garrison looking to follow up again. Charging in, and QT gets out of the way. Nobody home there. Griff Garrison needing nothing but turnbuckle across the eyes. Critical moment here for QT Marshall to bring the boom back in the match. Cole Carter, the side step to the outside. We'll find out if QT Marshall is willing to bring the boom here tonight at the Hammerstein Ballroom, but oh no! Nobody home as Cole Carter rips AJ down to the floor again. Call it dirty. I call it extremely effective. Fireman's carry driving the boot for QT Marshall's head. Here's the cover by Griff Garrison. Kick out at 2 by QT. Sheer endurance there by QT Marshall. The saving grace that allowed him to kick out of that maneuver. From the outside again. Where Stephon's been distracted by Griff Garrison as the Frat House looks to take advantage. Oh, wait a minute. Preston Vance, he's got a chair. Oh, come on, Preston. You're better than this. And meanwhile, again, what would Brody Lee figuring out? What? Wait, Big Justice, what are you doing, young man? Big Justice right now, and Aaron Solo taking the chair. And rather say right now, Stephon Smith figures out enough of all these guys. Again, Solo right now. What the hell? Oh, come on, Stephon. That's the wrong call. Aaron Solo prevented the chair being used. Stephon Smith just ejected Big Justice and Aaron Solo away from ringside. Oh, wait a minute. Stephon, turn around. Press the advance right now, holding up. Oh, caught red-handed that time. Finally. If you're going to get rid of the wrong team, get rid of the right team, too. Get the fuck out of here, Frat House. Good riddance. Stephon Smith doesn't play around here. Good job by this referee. And now we got a pure 2-on-2 contest here. QT Griff Garrison looking for the rolling lariat. Coming an STO. That flatliner, that sudden impact as again, Big Boom AJ finds his way back up on the ropes. All outside parties have been ejected from ringside. And Tammy to Cole Carter. Tammy, Big Boom AJ. And the audience right now channeling the boom for each time AJ hits a Frat House idiot. Big Boom holds down Cole Carter, dropping with a power slam. Now Griff Garrison up on the shoulder, dropping a Dominator. The power slam by the American Powerhouse. Full Nelson slam. And one for Griff Garrison. All right, Big Boom, show us what else you can do. You got a playbook on power slams, what the hell else you can do? And Big Boom AJ hooking up Cole Carter. Uh-oh. And here it comes, trying to bring the elbow. Oh, rolling elbow by Griff Garrison. Played way too much with the crowd that time and paid for it. Bang, diamond cutter. Wipes out Griff Garrison. Oh, rising knee wipes out QT Marshall. Down to the two legal men inside the ring. Swing and a miss by Cole Carter. And Big Boom, boom! Sky high with the power bomb. This is downright crazy. Big Boom right now and Cole Carter, the two legal men, tag made to the Doom. QT Marshall now legal. And Boom and Doom might be looking for a big ado. Buster power bomb. Just the half. Cover 2. That's it. It's a hell of a way to get to the finish, but Boom and Doom are now 2-0 as a duo. And I'm about to say, that's got to be a big win, though, for Big Boom AJ as well. You almost wonder if QT Marshall and Big Boom AJ might go after the Rainbow Tag Team Championships next year if they keep this up. Great teamwork, great trust shown here. Tremendous win here over the Frat House, despite all their shenanigans. Good job, QT Marshall and Big Boom AJ, as we go backstage to the Ring of Honor Pure Champion, the longest reigning Ring of Honor Pure Champion in Ring of Honor history, Lee Moriarty, who, of course, beat Nigel McGuinness in this very building last year at Final Battle under old school Pure rules. Now with 10 successful defenses of his Ring of Honor Pure Championship. Overcoming legends from CMLL as well, including Blue Panther. And Lee Moriarty looking to make Kommander know the difference between proving grounds and championship standards. I like that. I like that mindset. As Lee Moriarty claims he is the best pure wrestler on the planet, and after surviving Nigel McGuinness in that 30-minute Iron Man match where Nigel christened him the old Ring of Honor Pure Championship and a bow of respect Japanese wrestling roots, it's hard to argue. I'm looking very forward to the Pure Championship. Of course, a foundation of Ring of Honor and literally technical wrestling at its finest as we get ready to fill the rush first with Lio Rush and Katsuyori Shibata. It's going to be a hell of a match, though, in our main event. Here's our semi-main, folks. This man, of course, has more than enough names that accompany him. You call him the Bad Chat, you call him one half of Cruz, you can call him the Man of the Hour. Either way, this is Lio Rush, who is now 3-1 in Ring of Honor. And of course, coming off a little bit of an excursion exhibition across the UK. Lio Rush, one of the most impressive, and highly evasive young athletes you will see in the ring. 31 years of age, 11 years in the game, out of MCW Training Center. Of course, known as Maryland Championship Wrestling. Former TNA X Division Champion, WWE NXT Cruiserweight Champion, and House of Glory Crown Jewel Champion, as well as MLW World Middleweight Champion. But he's facing one of the greatest bell-to-bell in-ring technicians and strong spirits out of New Japan in Katsuyori Shibata, who is currently undefeated in Ring of Honor at 20-0, folks. The foundation and the structure of the human being known simply as the wrestler. And the fans are on their feet, of course, for Katsuyori Shibata, a mainstay of Ring of Honor. If you follow Ring of Honor's history and Global Wars in New Japan, and you see the handout, we'll see if the Code of Honor is adhered to. Psych. The bell rings are underway for this match. The tale of the tape in itself, Katsuyori Shibata, 26 years of experience to Lio Rush's 11 years of experience. It is going to be a battle of speed versus technique. This is going to be so good. First time ever one-on-one encounter, by the way, for these two men. They have never met up before in the ring. A Greco-Roman knuckle lock here. The early going. Test of strength being applied here. Katsuyori Shibata more likely will win this bout because, of course, he also has leverage advantage, being the taller competitor. And, of course, we've seen a new attitude out of Katsuyori Shibata since Samoa Joe has demonstrated what it means to lead by example in his own way, as, of course, he is 1/3 of the Ops, the AEW World Trios champions. And former Ring of Honor Pure Champion, of course, former notorious multiple-time never overweight champion from New Japan Pro Wrestling. An incredibly accomplished amateur, of course, and previous teacher, of course, of the LA Dojo. Innovation versus intensity and acceleration. The Irish Whip and Lio Rush right now showing his evasive nature. Whoa! Catcher Bob with the drop down. Lio Rush has been scouted, though. Quick exchange here. Both these men looking for a limb. There's a schoolboy robot. Lio Rush gets a 2 count by referee Brandon Martinez. And Shibata right now on the back foot was able to scout that handstand. And the boot right now, Lio Rush stopping him dead in his tracks. And Shibata catching the boot right now. And again, Samoa Joe looking to lead by example, going in as the AEW Men's World Champion. Will he leave with that title, though, come the end of World's End? And, of course, you can watch that with us exclusively on HBO Max on pay-per-view. A boot wash right across the face of Lio Rush. Of course, Shibata, literally disciplined and trained by Antonio Inoki, definition of strong spirit, living embodiment of Inokiism. Oh, God! Originally one of the Three Musketeers with Shinsuke Nakamura. Oh! And, of course, Hiroshi Tanahashi retires next week, January 4th, at Wrestle Kingdom with suplexes on the apron to the floor and Lio Rush down and out. And again, we saw, of course, Bandito beat Ricochet past Wednesday night. Has a chance to be both Ring of Honor World Champion and AEW Men's World Champion. Next year, Maximum Carnage. Driving Lio Rush into the barricade. And, of course, Katsuyori Shibata, former Ring of Honor Pure Champion for 239 days, 3-time Neverweight Champion, and former Repro Undisputed British Heavyweight Champion. Currently has been the AEW World Trios Champion since Spring Breakthrough, alongside Powerhouse Ham Samoa Joe as the Ops now for 255 days. Big chop right there to Lio Rush's spine, and Lio Rush finding from underneath. You do not want to do that against the wrestler, though. A man that literally channels pain. Oh, jeez. Open hand palm strike to the upper shoulder blades. Everything about Katsuyori Shibata is so calculated and methodical and hurts really bad. Just toying with Lio Rush right now. Of course, Leo Rush probably been toying with his whole life, considering his stature, but it's his speed that has carried him so far in this industry. Pointing the elbow right now. Close range combat. Katsuyori giving Leo Rush no space here. Oh, man. Vicious knife edge chop up against the top rope, and Leo Rush dropped back down to his knees. Katsuyori Shibata clearly neutralizing the speed of Leo Rush, not letting him pick up any sort of momentum, not going for an Irish whip, not creating distance, just wearing him down. The reaction time right now of Leo Rush has been slowed down. The snapmare, Leo Rush right now in position for Katsuyori Shibata to hit a PK. Whoop. Leo Rush able to evade it though. Away by Schoolboy, the roll through. Comes around with the kick. That sudden impact that Katsuyori Shibata was trying to avoid. And Leo Rush this time catches him with a handstand kick. Takes Shibata down on the floor. Leo Rush once again though, looking to fly and dives against Katsuyori Shibata with the tope suicida. You give Leo Rush a chance and he will go 10 miles per hour, but you're only going 1. And right now, Leo Rush sending Katsuyori Shibata inside the ring. And might be looking to make him feel the rush. Might be the final hour. Going up to the top turnbuckle. Looking for that splash. Oh, and Shibata gets the boots up. Uh-oh. And Shibata right now looking to implement a Kenta original hesitation drop kick in the corner. And the speed of Katsuyori Shibata on display here. Butterfly suplex. Shoots the half. 2 count on Leo Rush with the lateral press. And of course, that composure and control, once again, restored by Katsuyori Shibata. Never seems like Katsuyori Shibata shows any signs of hesitation or frustration. Right now, Leo Rush, though, with his own combination offense here. A flurry of strikes, the Irish whip off the bottom rope. Oh, Rush Hour! The bottom rope stunner is enough here. Look at the far leg, 2! Kick out by Shibata. Whoa. Shibata right now needs to once again close that gap and neutralize Leo Rush's speed and adrenaline. Now Leo Rush going up to the top turnbuckle once again. Oh, Shibata meets him with a pump kick on the ascent. That forward power there. Shibata front face lock applied on the inside second. Possibly looking to send Leo Rush for a ride with a superplex. Smart move by him. Leo Rush went down the bottom turnbuckle. Now Leo Rush, whoop. No one home out of the front flip. And again, swing and a miss. Standing waist lock. Whoa, almost with the referee. Oh, and a low blow by Shibata. Into the Junior Katami. Cross arm breaker. And Rush had no choice but to tap out. Just like that. And Katsuyori Shibata literally drowning out the noise and doing what he needed to get the win against Leo Rush, all of a sudden, thanks to a great low blow setup and takeover into the cross arm breaker, and the wrestler puts Leo Rush down. And we'll see if Samoa Joe can lead by example again come tomorrow night. Well, again, folks, it's been a very fun exhibition showcase here at Ring of Honor, but our main event is moments away as Kommander, former Ring of Honor television champion, takes on the best Ring of Honor pure champion to date in Tiger Style, Lee Moriarty for the gold. Now, Kommander with a new theme. Nice. And again, folks, the Hammerstein Ballroom has been of good fortune to Kommander, as last year in Survival of the Fittest, coming in here with 11-0-3 streak, Kommander won Survival of the Fittest and took Brian Cage's Ring of Honor World Television Championship, only to lose it to Nick Wayne earlier this year. Nick Wayne, by the way, who is still out injured. The pure title, of course, has been a standard of Ring of Honor. Lee Moriarty is the 15th Ring of Honor Pure Champion in Ring of Honor history, going all the way back to John Walters, Doug Williams, AJ Styles, and two of the most notorious men to hold that title, of course, in Nigel McGuinness and Bryan Danielson, amongst others. Big opportunity here for Kommander as Lee Moriarty looks to show him the difference between proving ground and championship. And of course, Lee Moriarty right now is going into his 11th defense of the Ring of Honor Pure Champion, who is currently 9-1-2 this year in singles action. Tiger style, literally an encompassing style all of his own, that it comes from all of his mentors and masters, including, of course, Blue Panther and CMLL, and Nigel McGuinness and Ring of Honor, Bryan Danielson, technicians of the game. You've seen how pure, of course, Lee Moriarty's been in and out of the ring, not even taking Shane Taylor's bullcrap as of lately. Lee Moriarty, folks, is 30 years of age. He's been involved in this game for 10 years, trained by Brandon Kay, known as the Apex of Combat. First time I saw this man live was when he faced Dan Garcia and received his AEW contract on AEW Dark. Ready for this contest, Brandon Martinez. And of course, Brandon Martinez, of course, the official for this contest. Kommander, of course, out of Mexico, 27 years of age, 13 years involved in the game, trained by Black Shadow Jr. And we'll see if the Code of Honor is adhered to. The fact that Lee Moriarty got the better of arguably the greatest Ring of Honor Pure champion in this company's history, not once, but twice, goes to show how far Lee Moriarty can carry the integrity of the Ring of Honor Pure division and its rules. For those that don't know, Ring of Honor Pure rules matches go like this. There are 60-minute time limit. Each opponent has 3 rope breaks. If rope breaks are used, then moves and finishers can count inside the ropes. Closed fists are illegal to the face. One will issue a warning. The other one will disqualify you. The title can change hands via disqualification, count out, submission, or pinfall. And of course, open hand palm strikes and closed fists are allowed to all parts of the body, excluding low blows. If this goes to 60-minute time limit, a panel of judges will determine the winner. A hammerlock right now by Kommander. And of course, you see Lee Moriarty right now trying to find some sort of leverage, squatting in and using the back heel trip to break the grip. And the thing about pure rules matches is not necessarily about trapping your opponent in a submission. It is strategy. Sometimes what you want to do is break down your opponent, get them in a sense of desperation, force them to use their rope breaks, as we saw last year with Nigel McGuinness and Lee Moriarty, where Nigel covered, mostly outsmarted Lee Moriarty during the duration of that match. Now looking for the cross arm breaker, and you see the firm grip applied by Kommander, and Kommander with the roll up. It's a 1 count, of course. Kommander last year participated at the Continental Classic. Now Lee Moriarty looking for that Border City stretch, of course. That was so instrumental in beating Nigel McGuinness last year at Final Battle in this area, as Kommander has just used his first rope break, and we're 90 seconds in this match. Forcing Kommander to burn his first rope break of 3. And of course, this is not the first time Lee Moriarty and Kommander went one-on-one. The last time these two men went one-on-one, it was a proving ground match back in October. And of course, it went to the 10-minute time limit, which allowed Kommander to earn this opportunity. 2 minutes in right now, looking for a test of strength for the Greco-Roman knuckle lock. Moriarty able to step through. Oh, wow. Just goes seamlessly underneath the arm into a double wrist lock. Now got wrist control. And of course, last time we saw Lee Moriarty beat in Ring of Honor, folks. Keyword Ring of Honor is extremely rare in singles action. Wrist lock applied right now. And of course, Moriarty able to bounce right back. Of course, the last time we saw Lee Moriarty lose a singles match was against him and Page for the AEW World Championship in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in September. Able to line him up, looking for the reverse monkey flip. Kommander, whoa, up on the shoulders. Look for the schoolboy. Lee Moriarty able to scout it, though. The quick footedness right now of Kommander, but the great awareness of the Ring of Honor Pure Champion. Like freaking jump out like a cat off the second rope. Springboard moonsault. Now inside the ropes. Tiger feint. STO, though. Kommander springs up, though, and Lee Moriarty immediately back to the side headlock. A sidestep, Kommander off the ropes again, dropped down by Lee. Kommander, though, front face lock, gator roll. Great scouting by the challenger. Now looking for the single leg pick. Lee again able to step over. And both these men right now are jogging for a limb. Lee looking for the step over. Again, follow up. Oh, look at that. Trapping him in a sleeper after scissor hold the single leg. That was beautiful by Lee Moriarty. Again, Tiger style, a style of its own. It's Yabe, it's Siligo, it's British. Roll through, shoulder down. Oh! Kommander almost walking out there, trapping Lee Moriarty, using his own body against him. Those quick pins, those quick exchanges, those sudden moments where you can't afford an error could be the difference here between Lee Moriarty and Kommander leaving Ring of Honor pure champion. And this is what I feel. This is why Ring of Honor feels purely right to me. This is the best, pun intended, what closer I need in Ring of Honor. The pure title, a foundation of Ring of Honor in itself. Kommander able to screen out of the corner, creating distance with Lee Moriarty. Trying to get inside the champion's head here. Lee Moriarty trying to keep up with Kommander. I don't think he's going to win the speed battle. Wow, wow! That's a hell of a reverse flapjack of sorts, or gourd buster. Able to stop Kommander quick on his feet and send him up and over face first. And once again, Lee has reset momentum in this match. And it's taking the win literally out of Kommander here. Again, Kommander has already used one rope break. If those rope breaks are resolved, then literally Lee Moriarty can pin him or submit him inside the ropes. Already seen him do that with the likes of course, Angelico in one of his earlier bouts for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship after he, of course, won this title off with a Yuta. Irish whip right now. Kommander taking over the kitchen sink knee. Of course, Lee Moriarty, I know he can go up to 30 minutes, but I don't know how far Kommander can go. Here's the lackadaisical cover with that's a 2 count there with the forearm across the face. The weight lock here. Of course, Lee Moriarty has gone all over the world with this Ring of Honor Pure Championship, defending and showcasing against the best the industry has to offer across CMLL, ROH, then and now. And again, the weight lock applied here for Lee Moriarty. Tiger style that's really coming to his own. Nice takedown there by Lee Moriarty. 2 count with the bridge only. Again, Lee Moriarty, like I said, folks, is double digits now in the amount of defenses he's had since holding the Ring of Honor Pure Championship, defending against Preston Vance, Matt Taven, the only time Matt Taven never won in his Ring of Honor career, Angelico, AR Fox, Matt Malco, Blue Panther, Robbie Egos of TMDK, Josh Woods, the Tentacle Beast, and right now we haven't faced a Kommander. And of course, as I talked about last year, in this very room, Nigel McGuinness. Under old school Ring of Honor rules. Cruz FX2! Oh! And again, exaggerating the kidney and ribs area of Kommander before that near fall, grinding his knuckles into the rib cage. Yeah, Lee Moriarty completely slowing down the pace of Kommander, turning this into his match. A hell of a pure champion, no doubt about that. Right now, the abdominal stretch and drive and the point of the elbow again into the ribs, into the liver right now of Kommander. Seeing if Kommander will willingly give up here as he's got him locked center in the ring. The chances of Kommander right now winning this title become less and less the longer than the hold. Nice arm drag takeover though. And the hip toss was able to create separation between champion and challenger. And right now, Kommander, Lee Moriarty trying to cover up here. Kommander, though, combination offense, high and low. Open palm strike as Kommander, Escalera up to the top rope, in and out. The precision and the takeover. Wait, Lee Moriarty with the roll through. STF! STF for Lee Moriarty. Kommander, though, is right near the ropes. Will he grab it, though? Will he force himself to use the net of rope break? Will he finally skip? Oh, he can't. As Lee Moriarty forces Kommander to use another rope break and drives his knees now into the core, the side, of Kommander. Kommander only has one rope break left. And again, though, in pure rules matches, you do have to give your opponent at least 5 seconds after they use a rope break. Crowd chant, this is awesome, and I agree. This is pure wrestling. This is Ring of Honor wrestling. This is professional wrestling. And, of course, there's an audience here that actually loves this technical contest and this technical showcase that you don't see virtually anywhere else here in the States to this degree. Again, pure wrestling, the foundation of Ring of Honor. It literally built its own code off this discipline. And right now you see Lee Moriarty driving his shoulder into the core of Kommander. For those that have been wondering, I've been a fan of Ring of Honor since the early 2000s. That's why I do know so much history. But I also have my other notes as well, as I always like to do my research beforehand, just to try and engage and educate you all or see if you all know the same thing. And Kommander, oh! A kick out of the left knee to Lee Moriarty. Now Kommander trying to pick up speed. Blocks the right. Trying to tap the hamstring. Went for the high kick. Spinning Solvat. DDT! Crowning the champion. Moriarty down. Kommander with the cover. Back prison for a leg. A kick out 2. We are 9 minutes in this Ring of Honor Pure Championship contest. Kommander trying to once again have another Christmas gift 2 years in a row from the Hammerstein Ballroom, looking for a second Ring of Honor title. And Kommander right now being wheeled on by the people with Sea of C's, looking for his next move. Lee Moriarty slow to follow up here. And again, hooking up the head of Lee. Drop down to a knee, though. Goes the champion. Kommander looking for possibly a suplex. Oh, again, the exposed core and one stiff right creates separation by Lee. And that was a closed fist, which means Lee Moriarty has been warned. And Moriarty disputing that call because, of course, it wasn't to the face. It was to the core. But again, Brandon Martinez, not the regular Ring of Honor Pure official like Mike Posey or Paul Turner. He's the one that makes the decision. And now Lee Moriarty hoisting up Kommander. Kommander, though, lands on the apron. Oh! Is a guard back of the head of Lee. Again, so quick on his feet is Kommander. Now Kommander up where he's most comfortable. The former Ring of Honor Television Champion walking across the top rope like a tightrope and flying over the crossbody. But again, he came off those compromised ribs and is unable to capitalize or go for a cover. 49 minutes and 30 seconds left in this Ring of Honor Pure Championship contest. Total panel of judges, including the two Christopher Daniels and, of course, Jerry Lynn and possibly Dean Malenko, might decide the winner of this Ring of Honor Pure title bout. Again, with the Poison Rana, able to scout it. Lee Moriarty, though, trying to hook up Kommander. Oh, God! Catch the Kommander with a jumping flatliner. Oh, cover 2. Whoa, and the third rope break has now been exhausted by Kommander. Clearly, Lee Moriarty had a mechanic behind that pinfall with the back press and not hooking the far leg. Now Kommander is at Lee Moriarty's worst mercy, which there will be none shown. Pinfall submissions count inside the ropes for the champion. Oh, take it down again, face first in the Boise stretch. Around his wrist, is Kommander going to tap out there, fingertips away from tapping. And again, there is no rope breaks. There is no escape unless he finds a way to break the grip. You get there, but it doesn't matter. There are no rope breaks anymore. Oh, wait a minute, Lee Moriarty. You're coming too. Oh, my gosh. Lee almost screwed himself. Oh. And a moment of lapse judgment by the champion almost cost him there, forgetting Kommander uses 3 rope breaks. And a smart strategy by Kommander with a wild card, get inside the champ's head. Take a fake kick. Lee Moriarty able to escape it out of the corner. Now Lee falls up. What? God, Spanish fly! Cover 2! Oh, Lee kicks out. Spanish fly out of nowhere in the middle of the ring. Oh! Press kick to the side of the head, but Lee Moriarty rolls his way to the apron and to the floor. Again, Kommander now literally on the back foot. Lee Moriarty has not used a single rope break yet. The Kommander back up to his feet. Now Kommander once again, Escalera off the top rope, saluting with the moonsault. Stalling salute moonsault, wiping Lee Moriarty on the outside, and Lee Moriarty right now grabbing his right shoulder. Again, though, all that damage done to the ribs and the core, all that oxygen being exhausted by the challenger, though, slow to follow up after all these high-impact moves. But adrenaline right now could be a dangerous motivator, and that's got to be driving the challenger, bringing Lee Moriarty back inside the ring. Both men back inside. Blocks the arm, up on the shoulder. Wait a minute. Poison Rana! And the cover now, hooking the near leg, back press 2, and Lee gets the shoulder up. Taps the arm, the seatbelt, 2, oh! And Lee Moriarty right now, who's reeling. And immediately now, Kommander going for the cross arm breaker. And Lee Moriarty right now, situational awareness. Will he go for the rope break and does so as Lee Moriarty uses his first rope break. Wow. Bazay, the rarity of Lee Moriarty using a rope break across his matches, only slightly higher than Katsuyori Shibata. But again, Lee Moriarty still has 2 rope breaks left. Now Kommander looking to follow up. Oh, man, a kick to the back of the head. Just a vicious fresh kick, blind shot to the champion. And now Kommander has a huge chance here. Looking for Cielito Delendo. Of course, that tightrope walking, running moonsault. Up top goes Kommander, walking the ropes for the shooting star. Oh, that hits the boots of Lee Moriarty. Double boots as Lee looks to follow up here. Kommander gets the boots up, though. Lee able to scout it. Now Lee, wow. Oh, what the hell? Going special with the use of the top rope. And that's it. Lee Moriarty retains. That was brilliant. 14 minutes, 37 seconds. Lee Moriarty is still the Ring of Honor Pure Champion. And that's how critical it is when you don't have rope breaks to save you. Using a move I haven't seen yet since he's been champion. A going special with the top rope. A hell of a way to end ROH on the foundation of Ring of Honor with the Ring of Honor Pure Championship and a very game challenger in Kommander. And again, we'll see the coat of irons adhered to as customary for, of course, Ring of Honor. And there it is between Kommander and Lee Moriarty. Again, a very respectable bout between champion and challenger. Incredible way to end the year for Ring of Honor. But again, folks, honor is always real if you ask me. But until next time, thank you for once again allowing us to engage with you on this screen. For the entire Cinema Studios, I'm the Slim Noah Foster. Happy wrestling, everybody. Hope to see you tonight for Simply Predicting, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Otherwise, hope to see you tomorrow night for our coverage of AEW World's End. But regardless, until next time, as always, make a positive impact in life and have a good night. And this has been the Ring of Honor Boxing Day Brawl. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Have an honorable one.